Well, welcome back to Long Box Diving, where we explore comics and story arcs pulled from the long box,
and do some reviews.
And we do quick fire reviews and other things like that. This week,
it's a somber moment. It's a somber moment.
This week, our local comic shop, we love them, but they've already had to lay off their people. All of them, so they're down to, hey Perry, how you doing, man?
What's up?
So they're down to just, hopefully they stay open. So this may be our last quickfire review of new comics, specifically for a while, for sure. But we're gonna still do something. We'll probably review some old comics or something.
Domino.
Well, I'll make him read old stuff. Diamond.
There we go.
Make him read old stuff, and we'll do a quickfire review of old stuff or something. We'll do something. Hey, Southern Comic Geek, what's going on, man? So. This is our quickfire review where the old fogey and the young whippersnapper review new comics and give you a rundown of what we thought from an old person's point of view and from a young person's point of view of what we thought. I know there's probably a little bias because, he's my kid, but we try to be fair and honest with our opinions, and he does not get punished for a bad opinion. Honestly.
A very bad opinion. It's happened before.
Yeah, it's like that opinion sucks. What's wrong with you? But
that looks nothing like that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like I don't get what you're saying right now because it makes no sense to me. But these are our reviews, and so we'll cover the comics that I got new this week. I didn't get some of them. Diamond apparently decided not to ship Wolverine to my comic shop, so I didn't get it. And now I don't know when I'm going to get it. If I'll get it at all, it may be months, and I may have to order it from Midtown if my comic store shuts down. So I know I made a vow on Twitter. I know some of you probably saw it, but for me, I've seen other people say this as well. But I'm going to still spend the same amount of money I normally spend. I'm just going to go to my shop and buy back issues because I have new comics. So I'm going to buy back issues. I'm going to buy my comic supplies. I'm going to try to just keep until they shut the doors and say, hey, we're done. I'm going to try to keep supporting them and help them through this. When you live paycheck to paycheck at a comic book shop does sometimes, that there's not much you can do. So we'll try to help them out a little bit. But in the meantime, we have new comics. So let's not dwell on the negative too much because we have some positive stuff.
Some pretty good books as well.
They had some pretty good books this week. We both were like, that was good.
There was a couple I would have paid for with my own money.
That's a huge deal for him.
Oh, yeah, because I'm broke.
Because he has no money. All right, so first one up, X-Men and Fantastic Four #3. This was a great comic. It starts out again with the rundown. Nathaniel Richards. God, Nathaniel, what's his name? Nathaniel, right?
Reed's son.
Reed's son. I forgot his name.
Nathan.
Whatever it is.
Something like that.
So
David.
David Vince. So the kid is a mutant. He's losing his power, but the X-Men show up and say, hey, we should take him to Krakoa because he's old enough to make decisions. Like 15, 16 years old. He is not old enough to make adult decisions.
Not legally.
His brain is not fully developed till he's 25. So
neither is his body.
He just settle down there, Magneto. And Sue Storm goes Mama Bear, which was great. You are the villains, X-Men. You
don't touch my son.
Come in and kidnap children. Well, the kids decide to stow away on the Marauders boat, and the Fantastic Four don't know who they are. So they go to the X-Men on Krakoa. They kind of sneak in. So apparently now they're spies with espionage. And now we pick up where they get caught. They get found out. They're running for their lives. We see some cool uses of Reed's super genius and the suits and all this kind of stuff. And so now we're what?
Reed's super genius, which is apparently fading.
Yeah, well, Von Doom says that. So, Cyclops gets into the special jet thing and he shoots his I-beams and knocks out just the engines. The connecting covers. I wish I had gotten all connecting covers. I don't think I did, but Cyclops is able to shoot the twin I-beams perfectly and knocks out the jet. Now he does say, I'm the best there is at what I do.
No, that was
Oh no, I think it was Cyclops. Logan,
Rogue?
please, you know I'm the best there is at what I do. I think that's Cyclops taking off his helmet.
Oh.
I think that's Cyclops. He's taking off his helmet. Yeah. He's taking off his
no,
visor.
Rogue was the option. Yeah. What was the other option?
Well, the other option was Rogue. So he shoots the eye beams out. He knocks him, and then we get Wolverine doing this to Johnny. What the crap? Why? I mean, this is just
Wolverine is going full feral on everyone.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, but then Doom steps up and goes, "Hey, enough of that.
You're on my island now."
Kitty walks up. Love this, Kitty Pryde. I made a deal. We're going to fix Nathaniel, and we're going to not take the mutants because Doom is protecting the mutants.
Yeah, this Kitty is like, yo, Magneto. No, I made a choice.
I made
a call.
She got in his face. I made a call. You weren't here. I was. This is the position you put me in. And so they're going to fix Richards here, and Doom is like typical Doom, talking down everybody.
He's the smartest guy.
But I love what he says. He goes, "I love these kids, Sue."
Yes.
He goes, "I wouldn't do anything to hurt them."
I think it's before that.
He goes, "Susan, those children mean the world to me. I am simply." That's awesome. Hey, Mike Rogers, how you doing, man? Welcome to the quick fire reviews. We're talking about X-Men Fantastic Four. So I love how Zdarsky is doing Doom. He does a great Doom.
Yes.
Arrogant, but you can still tell he has a heart. I am doing what I can for the child. He's doing what he can for his people. And then he talked about the mitochondrials. And of course, he named the God particle the Doom particle.
The Von Doom
particles. I love it.
God.
You mean the God particles? No.
No.
The Von Doom particle. So then we got Beast. Beast is being cool. I like the way Beast acts in here with interacting with Reed.
Oh yeah, Beast and Reed are going over Doom's theories.
Yep.
And how to get Reed's son fixed.
To fix the connection to that source, that otherworldly source that's out there providing everybody that has superpowers comes from the same source. And then you see the Doombots break in because they're about, they broke their word to Doom, the mutants. And Sue and the Thing, and they snuck into the village like they weren't supposed to. They found some mutant, like, "Oh, we know he's holding you against your will. We're gonna save you." And they're like, "You're gonna get us in trouble." Doombots break in. Wolverine goes full feral, stabs it, and kills a mutant.
It's not a Doombot.
It's not a Doombot. He goes, "There's blood." Yeah, you just killed somebody for no good reason, dude. And then we have Doom's Sentinels.
I gotta say, I love how Reed was like, you know what? Yeah, I've been acting like a crappy father. You know what? Whatever. Here, it's your choice. It's your powers that you're gonna lose. You make the choice.
You make the call. So they push the button.
You don't need this to be a good man.
Right. You don't need to have power to be a good man. And so that it was nice to be.
It was a very good. You know what? I've not been acting like a father. I need to act like a father.
And you're 16. At some point, I got to start letting you make decisions for yourself. This is one of those things that he's going to do it. And you've got to help temper what he's going to do and make sure he comes through it. You're still trying to be dad and trying to do the best for your kid, but sometimes they got to make the decision for themselves. So this is one of those situations. It's a good writing of the team of the Fantastic Four.
The entire book is good writing.
I wish they would take Slott off Fantastic Four, put Zdarsky on it. I think that would be a fantastic read. I'm all for it.
I'm still just waiting to see where they take the X-Men. I mean, they're just awful people.
Zdarsky's writing them like bad people. It's like, all right. So, old whippersnapper, recommend.
Doom called Xavier on his bullcrap. It was like, just because you're a mutant doesn't mean you're better than humans.
You're not better. I work for my power. You were born with it.
Yes, that was such a good line.
I became this powerful because I work for it.
I'm choosing to help the boy with my power.
Exactly. Old Fogey recommends.
That was a good book, yeah.
Young Whippersnapper recommends. And now we move on to the next one.
Yeah, just X-Men. X-Men number 9.
X-Men number 9. X-Men number 9. Now, this has probably been the first issue that actually connects with the previous issue.
Yes, finally.
We actually have a story that carried over.
Last book, Brood comes because the King Egg was stolen and taken to Earth.
And so the Brood show up on their wells, and they start attacking Earth and all the whole 9 yards. Now, we come to find out that the Kree created the egg. But way back whenever the egg, when they found the brood, they figured out the brood was like a warrior species that was being mind controlled
Yes.
by queens
Very
and drones. Very invasive. They actually take over the host, the whole 9 yards. They lay eggs within your body. It's crazy stuff, right? And so the Kree decided to make a king egg who would then enslave the minds of the queens, and then the drones would then be enslaved that way. So they would actually create a living weapon. So in the Kree super intelligence, like, yes, good plan. Let's make the egg. And then we now have the X-Men flying with the egg.
Just trying to get away from Earth.
Trying to get away from Earth. And then this Ronan, the Accuser, has the Starjammers and the Shi'ar Empire's Guardians show up, and we have the whole kid gladiator. I don't. Kind of weird. He just kind of there. Dad, make you pay. All right, listen. I have 3 boys. I have never once had one of them say that to me. Dad, make me proud and beat the crap out of him. It's just all right. It just seems weird. All right.
No, I'd be beating the crap out of him.
But the art in here was really pretty good.
The art.
I mean, look, that whale hitting that Stargate and knocking that pieces, and they knock him to the planet.
It's like trying to land on the planet. Land's a word. That's not what we're going to use here.
And then it is a full-on brood domain. I mean, there are so many brood there. They start attacking. I mean, the X-Men. Look at this. Beautiful.
That is a great color.
Look at that. Starjammers, the X-Men. Look at Kid Gladiator up here. Look at who brings their kid to war. Right.
Cyclops.
Well,
dude's eyes are steaming.
Well, Cyclops kid is like old. Yeah. I mean, some of the art in here, some of the writing is like, Scott, look out, Scott. And he's like, oh, and I don't know. That was kind of like, but then all the brutes stop. Now, you should have plenty of time to read this. Apparently, it's not an egg that hatches. What kind of mood was the brood in to get the egg? Oh, I heard a good dad joke. I don't think I've told you this one yet. How do you tell the difference between a boy and a girl ant?
How?
You throw them both in water and the girl ant will sink.
Because it's a boy ant. Ha!
All right, so we found out basically the egg, it was not an egg that hatches, it's an egg that you would eat that would then give you power. And so the brood mutant, whatever his name is, her name is apparently.
I have no idea what gender it is.
I thought you said it was a he.
I thought it was a she.
Oh, that brood dude ate the egg and now has complete control over the brood.
I was like, if you knew you could eat the egg, why didn't you do it either?
Why didn't he eat the egg on the Earth and then take it? Or maybe he just got hungry and decided to eat the egg. So he seemed to know a lot about that.
They were like,
how do you know so much about the king egg? All right, so there's a lot of questions in this.
I ate the egg.
I mean, it was an okay. It was pretty interesting. It had a lot of good art in it. You was just a fantastic artist. It was an okay story. It wasn't the best story. It wasn't spectacular because I really don't understand some. Why did he eat the egg over here?
Now,
some of the writing was kind of
comic we've read, but it
was good.
It's not clear on the intent.
All right. So again, I would say if you like X-Men, recommend. The old fogey. If you like X-Men, recommend. Young Whippersnapper.
Yeah, if you have the money.
Which he doesn't. All right. So he would not buy it on his own.
No.
If there are a lot of them, they should be breed because they've been breeding.
No, the brood is the group. It's a
that
brood.
is true. But I don't think there's a lot of breeding going on.
I don't think they breed. They just infect other people, and those other people become the brood.
Yeah, they hatch eggs. So the queen egg injects you with other.
Because in like the very beginning, they showed this the one brood attacking another thing, and then the other thing transformed and became a brood.
Yeah. So would that still be considered breeding? I don't know. Good point. Southern Comic Geek. All right. So the next one would be Justice League Dark. All right. So
interesting.
This is interesting. This was actually pretty good. Tini is doing a pretty good job with this. So in essence, Magic got warped and messed up. They were able to fix it, but by fixing it, they've warped other things. And one of the things they've warped is the red, the green, and the blue, or the red, green, and black. So
it's a very Flashpoint-esque type thing.
right. So they have earth or animals, plants, and rot, dead, and the dead. So you have these things are all kind of warped, right? And Swamp Thing died. So they have to have a new person of the green. Right now, all they have is a Floronic man who is evil. So they have to find Abby Arcane, who used to be ahead of the Rot, and then they have Animal Man. So Animal Man, in this, they had some really good art. John Constantine is going with Zatanna to find Abby Arcane. And so there was some actually good conversation, good talking in here.
Yeah.
We had some good scenes like this one where Wonder Woman fights down through the stairs. That was great. We had another
You
panel.
can almost hear the impacts.
I mean, this panel.
That was awesome.
This is good.
Cool.
Whether she's in the water. And then you have one where he falls through like dimensions here.
Yeah, that was cool.
Over
too.
here. And this was cool when she called down. And it's funny because she's singing Queen backwards. Did you get that?
No.
If you read it, it says Galileo, very, very frightening, thunder and lightning. So, I mean, it was great. I was like, that's cool. So, and then, Animal Man has to do something fancy. So what he decides to do is connect to the tapeworm in his stomach, which was an interesting use of his power. Not seen that before. And so he's going to like eat everything. I don't know because it's a long shot. And then he connects with the tapeworm in his stomach, which he takes on the powers of the animal. And then what does tapeworm do? All right, and then
consumes all.
The new rot bad guy shows up, Anton Arcane. Look at that, man. So this was good. If you like dark comics with some really pretty good art, this is doing a good job.
Not bad action either.
Not bad action. So Old Fogey says recommend.
Yeah, it's a recommend.
So Young Whippersnapper recommends as well. And then we come to...
I would also pay for this book.
He would also pay for this book. Amazing.
This book.
All right. Oh, this book.
Yeah, that
All
one.
right. Now we came to Batman Curse of the White Knight. Book 8. I believe this is the last book in this run.
This book used the classic comic sound effects. A lot of them.
There was so many different sound effects. Vroom, swoosh, vroom, screech. I mean, it's just all over the place. But this basically was the final showdown between Batman and Azrael, which we find out Azrael is actually Wayne and Batman is actually Picard. So Batman is not a Wayne. Yeah, this was probably the read of the week. This was a great fight scene when Batman pulls out two sabers.
Oh, you come to fight me with a rapier?
He goes, if that's God's weapon, then, and then just look at this. Look at that. I mean, that is fantastic, right? I mean, look at that. Look at that fight. It's
pretty. It's honestly pretty.
Did the Muppets actually do it? That's good. Well, he did get the Queen's reference because we do listen to a lot of... I don't think he actually reads the comics. I think he just looks at the pictures.
I read.
But, yeah, he probably didn't get the Queen's reference, though he should have because we've listened to Bohemian Rhapsody a lot around here. And then we get Batman actually slices Azrael's neck. And then we get...
It's an artery.
We get some of the story, yeah. And then he tries to save him because he's Batman, of course.
He's like, no, you're not going to die. I'm not going to do it like you.
And then Batman gets arrested. Or Batman, Bruce Wayne, or Bruce Picard, I don't know what he's called now. He sells off all his stuff, which I don't get. Then he goes to prison because he was a vigilante. And then Harley Quinn draws a heart in the rain on the window on his hand. So... Are we saying Batman and Harley Quinn are now a thing?
No. Did you not read it? She was like, I can't be alone. I've already lost.
She loves him. That's why she drew the heart. Yeah, she goes, I don't want to be alone. She goes, well, I guess I was returning. Harley, I want everything you did to help me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, she goes, I don't want to lose you too. I know I cannot be alone. I get that. But just because you don't want to be alone and you're friends You don't draw a heart in the hand on it. I think there's a budding relationship. The man showed up to put the crib together. That's love. If anybody's put anything together from IKEA, and then we see this. Now, there's something here that I didn't notice myself, and the young whippersnapper actually noticed it. We see one. That's Jason Todd, right? That's Jason Todd, right? But here's something. Look at the shadow behind Bruce. At first, it's Bruce, and then we see Batman. But then we see Jason Todd standing outside of the window talking to Bruce Wayne, and look at the shadow on the wall. Batman and Robin.
So you get the hidden writing stuff, and I get the hidden art stuff.
You do get the hidden art stuff.
Also, Doom in the first one had different colored eyes, and that's how you could tell they're different Dooms.
I don't know if they're just in different Dooms. There's just somebody screwed up.
I think it's different Dooms.
But
because there's multiple Dooms.
But this was really cool. We're on this one. This is really cool because I mean that right there, that was fantastic. So I didn't recognize it. If you got the book, go look. It was very, very cool to see that. So this was a recommend. This whole series is a recommend. If you didn't get it, get the trade paperback.
Batman talking to Dick was like, okay, I know you weren't the Dick talking to Batman. I know you weren't the best father, but you're my father. And at least if you're going to finish it like Batman. Don't finish it like Azrael.
That's right. And so, yeah, I mean, just the writing in it.
Great writing, great action. I love it.
I don't know where Sean Gordon Murphy is going to go with it after this.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I mean, Batman's not really Bruce Wayne anymore.
Oh,
and he doesn't have any money.
Backstory of Commissioner Gordon on like his first decision as commissioner is to put the bat signal.
Yeah.
That conversation was great too.
Yes. All right. So next was Last Gods number 6. Now I read this. He hasn't gotten to this point yet. I read the
other like 2.
He was starting to read the other ones. This is a really good book. If you've liked fantasy, and just a medieval fantasy, this goes through 30 years in the past where they went to defeat the gods, and then currently, I mean, just look at the art here.
The art.
Look at that dragon.
It's something I really appreciate.
So there were a group of people that did the original, tried to beat the gods.
Yeah, the killing of the gods.
But they missed one apparently, and they were betrayed by one of their team. So we're seeing the building of the team back then, but we're seeing currently there's only the old people of the team and then some new people coming into it going, hey, we need to finish the job that you didn't finish. And we see one by one the old team die. I mean, look at this. Ferryman, like an elf, going right after that dragon. Just great stuff. Then, you know, I don't want to spoil the story too much, but so now you have almost a whole new team being put together, and they're heading out to the Black Stair. So
yes,
this is a really interesting story. We don't have all the answers yet, so there's a lot to go still. But here's 6 issues in. If you like fantasy, high fantasy, epic fantasy, this is definitely the book. So recommend from me. He will get there at some point.
Especially since we're on lockdown. Well, not yet, but
sort of. So next is Folklords. Number 5. Have you read that? Did you read this one yet?
Yes.
All right. So this was okay. The ones up to this point were really pretty good. This one, he actually meets a Folklord, and they are petty crapholes. But their magic is words. So I'm not sure if a Folklord can actually change the world of the fairylands because he can just speak it into existence. I'm not quite sure. I must have missed something. But the librarian helps the kids escape. The kids go out and walk off finish their quest, and then we see a young girl LARPing, running through the streets in our world, going to the library. So I didn't quite get it. I must have missed something.
No, I didn't get it either.
So for me, it was okay.
But I think it's one of those things it's going to set up for another. It just didn't set up
It didn't hit well.
correctly.
Yeah, it didn't hit well, and I just think it's just. I mean, it should do okay. Maybe as we get to the next ones, well, we'll see more there. All right, so the next up is Giant Size X-Men #1, Nightcrawler.
When you have a run, they can't all be winners.
You can't all be winners. Sometimes you're gonna have some like
A filler.
a dud. It just didn't. Now, this was an okay comic, right? But I don't know why it exists. It wasn't bad. I just don't know why it exists. It just seems to exist for me to spend $4 on.
Yeah, it doesn't honestly have. I didn't see a purpose to it.
All it did was bring Lady Mastermind back from wherever she was, and then they get a new member of Krakoa that is actually part of an alien species
made out of like robotic beetles.
And I mean, this was great. Now, this guy, is going to be on the new X-Force team, X-Factor team.
The one where they're trying to figure out where the mutants go when they don't come back.
I don't remember what the name of the team. X-Factor, X-Force, X something. But he's going to be on that team. Okay, I get now. In the other book, he's drawn very anime cartoony.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the way that guy's drawn.
This guy is drawn differently, and he didn't look so childish and silly.
Yeah.
When I looked at it here, I went, oh, okay. I get what his power set is. He can see in all different rays and spectrums and even past images. It's some interesting stuff. I mean, and the art in here is really pretty good. So I like the introduction to that character in this book. But overall, I don't know why this book exists. It was good. It was a good read. It was a pretty good story. It was just a one-off, one shot. But it didn't have a purpose in the overall scheme. It was just to get me to spend $5.
Yeah, it wasn't really focused on Nightcrawler either.
No, it was more on the team, and
yeah,
we found out that Warlock's back, and Warlock has been hiding with Doug, but we knew that. So at least I knew that. I don't know if everybody picked that up, but I figured it. I was like, Warlock's there. That's a part of the yarn, right? But so it was okay, but it was just like $5 that I spent on a book that was like, yeah, okay.
It's a gallon of milk.
Nowadays it's like I need some toilet paper.
No, that's $1,000.
All right, so now we got Once and Future, #7.
Pretty good.
The first arc finished, and now we're into the second arc. Fantastic, man! I love this book. Look at the Siege Perilous.
Oh my goodness!
Look at that. That's the Siege Perilous. You've got to sit in it and survive. What the crap! And Galahad, which is the main character's stepbrother or half brother. It's his half brother. Turns into this evil creature. Now he is out doing monster hunting. Now,
killing a pixie.
He killed a pixie, and then his girlfriend Rose said there's a big event that's going to be happening at the museum. Huge. So he rushes off to the museum, and he finds this old ancient mask that Galahad,
who now looks
look at that
freaky.
I mean, he goes, "What have you done? I am perfect." Right, and then but at the same time, over at the ancient library, a book is stolen. And then we see Grandma shows up, and she strings a wire across the thing, and Galahad starts charging at her.
She basically garrots him.
Look at that. Garrett's the whole horse, his legs off the whole 9 yards. Great stuff. This book is fantastic.
The Jenny Ferguson cover?
Yeah. The Jenny cover. I don't know which one did I get? I have no idea. I grabbed whatever they gave me, honestly, so I'm not sure what cover I have. Unlock retailer variant cover.
Dan Moore.
Yeah. I haven't looked at it. I have to go find it. And then we see Beowulf.
The book was stolen.
And they brought Beowulf out.
They realized they were tricked, and they were like, oh, no.
But isn't Beowulf a Saxon? Isn't he one of the ones that the King Arthur would actually hate? Because he's one of the invading Vikings, right? So he would actually be enemies to King Arthur, who was there to defend against the Vikings that were coming through. So the woman that calls him up, I think, is the main character and Galahad's mom, who basically didn't get the power she thought she was going to get when she brought King Arthur back. So now she's bringing Beowulf back to fight King, I think. Yeah,
it's not King Arthur doing it. So
yeah, it's the woman.
I honestly don't think
it's the mother. I think it's the mother that's doing
it.
I think King Arthur was going for the mask, and she slid in and got the book.
Recommend?
That's definitely recommend for me.
Yeah.
Old Foggy recommends?
Yes.
Now, Amazing Spider-Man. 42. This is basically an origin story for Grog. Gog. No, Grog. Gog. And honestly, I thought it was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. We had a lot of stuff explained.
And I felt really bad for for Gog.
Yeah.
I felt really bad for him. And watching his story and then what his mission in life is now, to protect the tablet that she broke apart. She gave one piece to him and said, protect this with your life. And now he's like, God, protect. So, I mean, he was honestly, like I said, he's always a good guy. He was an okay guy. He was loyal. And that got him in a lot of trouble because he was found by,
Craven.
And
Craven first.
Turned into a monster. And then the Sinister Six. So he was never really a bad guy. He
was
was
like, wait. Doc Ock put him in the Sinister Six before me?
Yeah. So, for me, definitely, it's a recommend. It was a good old-fashioned story that made sense in the open. And it's a filler because it doesn't really progress the main story too much.
No, it's
just a little backstory of where the tablet was and how it got broken apart, and it went to this other planet and caused some of the problems. Fantastic stuff, but not a to me, recommend. Yes. Old Fogey recommend.
Yes.
All right. Then we got now this is a new company. I think I haven't heard of these guys before. I heard them on Rod's show. Red Border #1. The art is pretty good in here. It's very realistic art. Some stuff in it that were probably not appropriate for you to look at. Sorry, I forgot about that. But it was basically a group of people getting shot up by drug dealers. And so they try to cross the border and then try to get captured by more drug dealers. And then an American dude in a hat kills them all, takes a selfie with one, and then decides to take him back to his farm. So I'm not sure what the crap's going on here. It's weird. It's like watching Narcos. But I'm not sure. I mean, the art was good. The story was okay. It was really wordy. But I'm not sure what's going on and why. All right. You?
Do you recommend?
Not really. No. Young Whippersnapper?
No.
All right. This, on the other hand, is the Resistance from the same company. Resistance #1. I like J. Michael Straczynski. He wrote Spider-Man. Mike Deodato.
Yeah.
I like his art style. This was weird. Did you read this?
I don't think so.
Okay. The world. Let me start. No one knew why it happened, but everyone had theories. The pandemic was a deliberate act of bioterror. That's literally the first page. All right. And then it just goes through that we think it came from Mexico. God's reaching down and punishing people.
Just a bunch of theories.
It's the chemtrails. And then basically, under normal circumstances, once such genetic changes become integrated, they can cause cancers that take over the course of years become lethal. This virus, XV1N1, kills within days. Once the virus enters the nuclei, it instructs the immune system to begin rejecting the body, attacking healthy tissue as though it was the invader under assault. It liquefies your internal organs, eyes, mouth, and trachea passages. Death results from congestion failure, congestive of coronary infraction, or suffocation. I think somebody can see the future. All right, and then the world's going nuts. 95% death rate. Now that's not like what we have, with Corona. It's not the same. Corona's only like 4% right now. But imagine 95% death rate. People were in lockdown. People were locked at home, couldn't get out. They were patrolling the streets. They were literally blowing up cities that got too infested to kill everything there. I mean, it got bad. And then all of a sudden, overnight, stopped. It all stopped. And what we come find out, there's two sisters that know they have powers. And one of the sisters does this.
Kills herself
Kills herself to save everybody else.
Yeah.
The other sister does this thing over here with the flower, and they become multiple flowers. They called it XV1N1 or something like that, but basically, at the end of the book, the virus has given everybody the 5% that survived the virus of the people that got the virus. Yeah, it basically, but they have powers. So in the end of the book, it says the survivors. So you have the survivors, the discards, the beautiful, the hidden, the hopeful, the lost, the searching, the transcendent, the mad, and the dangerous, the resistance. So what we also then see is the president is like on full lockdown of everything. He is still executing a full dictatorship on the world because he's not certain that the thing is gone or that it won't start back up again. Nobody can really give him any specific details.
So the moral of the story is eat your Flintstone gummies so you can get superpowers.
Basically, you get superpowers. Now the main guy, the main guy against is like, this is fascism, sir. I've served as the head of the Defense Intelligence Agency under 3 administrations, Democrat, Republican, and apolitical. My obligation is to serve the American people. And if you continue down this road, I will resign and publicly announce my opposition. And then they black side him.
Yeah.
They black side him. So the president is saying, hey, Mark, how you doing, man? So apparently the president during this is still not a good guy. He got elected to tamp down the virus. But now the virus has just kind of turned itself off, not been fixed, been turned off. They don't know if it could turn itself back on. The president is instituting full fascism. And then we have a whole group. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different groups of individuals. The 5% that survived, that obviously this one has powers. This one's actually changed form. This one's changed form. This one actually is glowing and floating. So there's definitely some powers being handed off. Now, this is a 6-part issue. So there's 5 more issues in this story, and then it's over. But how very, very odd that a global pandemic that's killing a lot of people, and they're locking people down, and now all these countries turn to fascism. But they did figure out it did not come from Mexico. It actually came from space. At least that's what I think they said. So, okay. Just weird.
So, if you want superpowers, survive.
Survive. So interesting. So I'm still on the fence. If I say, if you like the weird,
weird, it is. Yes.
Global destruction, type thing. It's been pretty good. Straczynski has always been a pretty good writer for me, and Deodato's work is always good stuff. So. Definitely not a high recommend, but a recommend. It was solid. It was good, solid.
That'll change through the next, if we get the next book.
When we get the next book, 4 months from now, if our comics store is still open, or we have to order it from Midtown Comics.
That's like 17 weeks.
Yeah, who knows? Our next quick fire review won't be new comics. I can tell you that. It'll be old comics. I'll make him read a whole story arc. All right. The next one up is
story arc.
Ravencroft #3. We just pull random books from the box and make him read it. All right. So honestly, I'm probably done with this series now.
It was last one was disappointing.
This one, Frank Castle is now locked up. I don't know the whole reason he's locked up. I don't know why he wants to get out. I do know that Grizzly, the story's not making sense to me, and I probably have to read it 3 or 4 times.
Kingpin's in the prison. Taskmaster's there.
Kingpin is in charge of the prison. Taskmaster's there. Demolition Man Duffy, which is supposed to be super strong, and almost near indestructible, gets stabbed by Grizzly, and he dies or is dying, and then the main
It's
monster,
like a white version of Luke Cage.
the main monster makes everybody believe that they're fighting the monsters, but there's no real monsters there.
Yeah,
And then all the unwanted start going up into the prison. I don't know what's going on.
it's very confusing.
So I'm probably done with this series now. The one shots were really pretty good, but right now carrying the story, it's why are the villains in charge of the mental institution? I want more of the unwanted. There seems a lot of the interaction between the inmates and the work. I don't get it. I don't know. And then there's like a whole subplot thing. I just wish it was a straight up the criminally insane there, and they're experiencing things that are otherworldly, and they're fighting monsters that are coming at them. I don't want the inmates fighting the jailers, and I don't want the jailers to be actually villains and then kingpins. It just doesn't make sense. So that one's probably going to be coming off my pull list. The good news is I don't have to worry about it for a couple months. Oops. So that is actually all our comics for this week and our quick fire reviews. So again, let's go through real quick.
Okay, X-Men Fantastic Four.
Recommend Old Fogey, Young Whippersnapper.
Recommend
Recommend if you like X-Men.
Yeah.
Recommend. I
like
thought it was
dark
great.
stuff.
And great. And if you like dark. All right. Probably one of the read of the week, so it's really good.
Yeah.
All right. Really good if you like fantasy. It's a very deep plot.
We have
So
a
be ready for
very
it.
wide spectrum of what we like.
Good,
So,
but I didn't get it. I didn't get that one. Good.
no purpose.
Don't know why it exists.
Well, don't know of the purpose yet.
This one, fantastic. I love stories
That
that
was
take.
great.
I love stories that take old legends and stuff and mixes it into the new. And I think it's fantastic.
That have their own plausible theories of history.
Yep.
Or just change it completely. What if King Arthur was actually a bad guy?
Yep. An Amazing
Great.
Spider-Man Gog. Great backstory. Great
Yeah.
filler issue.
It
I
made
loved
you feel for God.
It did. I was like, oh, poor guy. I felt like my puppy got hurt. Yeah, Mark, there wasn't a lot. I got a lot of new stuff, but I won't next week. This one, Red Border,
Very, very strange.
is like reading Narcos, but I'm not sure what's going on yet. I don't know if I'll get the next one. The Resistance was pretty good, but weird that
Prophecy.
we have a book about global pandemic that's killing a lot of people, and then the government shuts everything down in a
Everyone who
fascist state.
survives has powers. So.
And then everybody survives as powers. Nice twist. And then Ravencroft, no, that's probably off my pull list.
Or everyone who has powers survives.
It could have triggered something in their DNA. We don't know until the next issue. So that was our quickfire reviews. That's our new stuff this week. I would say we'll have more stuff next week, but we probably won't.
Probably stuff like Mark, nothing new.
Yeah, nothing new. We'll probably grab stuff out of a box and we'll just read a couple issues. We'll like quickfire review from 1981, and then I would be the young whippersnapper in that situation. But we'll see because we like doing these quickfire reviews. We like having you guys join us and have conversations about the comics that we just read. Bring back that old comic book shop feel. And now more than ever, we need to have that old comic book shop feel, because this may be our comic shop from now on. Buy it on the internet.
Take a good look.
Talk about it
here. Don't be stuff you're looking at for a
All right,
while,
so-
I hope.
So, that's it for us this week. Thanks, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you next time here
In the
in the
long
Long
box.
Box.
Bye-bye.
Every time.